I said, knowing there's a strike.
Yeah, finally.
Okay, that's up and running. Waiting for that to kick over.
Did you? I don't know if you have you seen if the update set's out yet? The 2024 update set for
I haven't.
baseball yet?
I haven't even. I have not even been paying attention to that at all. In honesty.
No, because I'm just because I want to get because I know this is the final few Met. I have every regular Topps Mets card for this year, but the update set. I just want to get my hands on the update set. Ah, shit! You're gonna see it in a minute.
So pretty much it was a bunt.
Yeah, but Alvarez threw it away.
No, no one moved. So just
Yeah, but still, it's still first and second with nobody out.
that was a hard throw because he had to throw around Sevy. If
Yeah,
he
but
didn't,
still.
if Sevy was gonna get beamed right in the head,
But
and that would have been close. That was not. That wasn't an easy play for either one.
well, no, because I want to ask a question about manager of the year. Do you think Mendoza is going to be in the running for manager of the year?
Yeah. Apparently, what is it? It's him and
The guy from Cleveland.
yeah.
Now, I want the Mets to make the World Series for a number of reasons, but I also want to make it see it for because that means Mendoza will be the manager for the All Star team next year. Which means, if Brandon Nimmo's got a great year, Brandon Nimmo will not be overlooked next fucking year.
Right. We ready?
Microphone came out.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
No, because I went to reach over and my microphone unplugged itself.
Oh, okay.
And I had because you said, you ready? I'm like, wait a minute. All right, now I'm ready.
All right. In three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Betting Window on the Nerdport Network. I am your host, Stephen Ronnie, and we will not be overlooking you for the Golden Glove.
And I am the Zombie Master, and fuck the Phillies. That's all I got to say, but thank you. Move on.
I went from the Phillies to the Dodgers, so I went from East Coast scum to West Coast scum.
Overpriced West Coast scum at that.
Oh.
I said what I said.
Yeah, that was a bad play by Sevy, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If you hear us periodically talk throughout the game, we both have the game on for the Mets and the Dodgers, so we might be chiming in with scores and updates and all that happy horse shit throughout this broadcast. So
Sevy
be prepared.
Sevy needs a strikeout. That's pretty much it right now.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's got 0-2 on Will Smith, so that's good.
So good, he'll slap your mama.
Hey, Will Smith, pretend that don't look at Sevy as Chris Rock, okay?
Oh Jesus!
And if you get that reference, thank you. Oh, that was a strike, motherfucker. Sorry, I do this when I'm watching the game. Watch the pitch coming up, you'll get it.
And little
high.
high.
That was a strike though. That was
little high.
That was on the corner, motherfucker.
That's a judge. Well, guess what? Now when we have when we actually can add challenges to the freaking pitching, that'll happen.
Yeah, but that was definitely on the corner, I thought. But anyway, so what's going to be first on the docket, since it's only the two of us until Mr. Christian gets here?
So yeah, and no Ryan. He's got family things to handle. He will be out for probably the next, I want to say, 2 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, possibly.
Yeah. Let's go into this. I guess you would say bullshit for Golden Glove finalists.
I know Lindor didn't get it.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting to see who actually got in. So,
Let me guess. They're going to give it to Shohei Ohtani.
well, no, well, it's each, what is it? Each position gets one.
I was being sarcastic.
Shohei won't actually get one because he didn't field.
Yeah, but MLB
He'll get a
participation trophy.
Well, no, he'll get a golden what's it called? Not a golden slugger. He'll get a silver slugger.
Yeah, I was just being sarcastic. Yeah. It's like they're going to give everything to fucking.
So, all
they
right.
just suck the dick of Mr. Ohtani.
Well, yeah. Well, look at the what's it called? The promotional videos for the World Series. It's mostly Judge and Ohtani.
Neither team are in the World Series yet, and they're already sucking dick on these two teams already.
Well, yeah, because
they're saying to the Mets and the Cleveland, just go away.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're saying. That's what.
Oh, come on! Oh, Jesus Christ!
That is what the media is saying.
Wait do you see this play coming up? Watch this play coming up.
Oh, Sebi couldn't field it.
Jesus Christ. All of a sudden, what did these Mets? Did they, like, leave their gloves in L.A. or something?
Well,
did they not make the trip?
Sevi's not a golden glove. That's for damn sure. But all right.
What's he, Roger fucking Dorn?
But, hey, better one run than two.
But still, there's a guy in third with one out.
And impossible double play depth. But, all right, back to what we were talking about.
Anyway, go ahead, continue.
So, all right, so these are your finalists for the Golden Gloves.
Okay.
Pitching. Griffin Canning from the Angels. Seth Lugo and Cole Reagan from the Royals.
Okay.
Probably going to go to Reagan's. Cole Reagan's had one of the best freaking years as a pitcher for the Royals.
Okay.
Catcher. Freddie Furman from the Royals. Cal Regan from the Mariners. And Jake Rogers from the Tigers. Probably going to go to Rogers.
Okay.
First baseman, Nathan Lowell from the Rangers. Ryan Mountcastle from the Orioles. Or Mountcastle. And Carlos Santana from the Twins. It's going to go to Mountcastle.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to add your 2 cents into this, feel free, because...
Nah, I think you pretty much said it. I don't know. You know what it is, to be honest with you? The only guy that I really want to see get a Golden Glove, but he's not going to get one, excuse me, and is Francisco Lindor is going to get denied yet again. But, uh-oh.
But, all right. Next was second base for the AL. Nick Lopez from the White Sox, Marcus Semien from the Rangers, and Andres Gimenez from the Guardians. It's going to probably be Simmons because the Rangers were awful.
Yeah, the Rangers have been awful all year. Rangers haven't had shit all year, man.
Yeah. Third base, Alex Bregman. Ernie Clement, Clement, and Jose Clements from the Blue Jays, and Jose Ramirez from the Guardians.
Ramirez will probably get it because Ramirez has become like the elder statesman when it comes to shit like that.
It's either going to be him or Bregman.
Yeah.
Shortstop, Brian Richo from the Guardians, Volpe, Bobby Witt Jr. It's going to go to Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Bobby's getting that, no, hands down. And as for Volpe, Volpe's been good this year, but he's still got a lot of holes in his defense.
And that's what this is about. This is about the defense. Left fielder, Cole Kauser, Stephen Kwan from the Guardians, Cole Kauser from the Orioles, and Alex Verdugo from the Yankees.
Really? Verdugo's going to get a Gold Glove? Really?
He's a finalist.
is anywhere, it's going to go to Stephen Kwan because Stephen Kwan, that motherfucker can play some defense,
I was
man.
going to say it's either him or Kauser.
If I'm going to give it to anybody, if I had a choice, it'd be going to Stephen fucking Kwan.
Yeah. Center field, Jargon Duran, Jake Myers, and Dalton Varsho.
Varsho
from the Blue Jays.
Dalton Varsho. Yeah, he used to play with the Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who's going to get that. Probably probably Myers.
You know what? I wouldn't sleep on Dalton Varsho either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep on him either because I remember him when he played, and like I said, he played for the Diamondbacks. He plays a hell of an outfield. He's one of those Lenny Dykstra jump, dive, get dirty type of player.
Now I have this one's the easiest one for a Gold Glove, right field.
What?
Weiler Abreu from the Red Sox, Joe Aldi from the Angels, and Juan Soto.
It's going to fucking Soto. Come on.
Yeah.
Enough said.
That's what I said. This one's the easiest one. Like, they literally were finding right fielders just to be able to be like, we know it's going to him. Here, congratulations. Here's a participation trophy. Utility infielder Will Castro from the Twins. Marcio Dubon from the Astros. Right. And Dylan Moore from the Mariners.
Right.
But I don't know much about those. But now we get into the National League. Pitching. And it's all NL East for a Gold Glove for pitching.
Really?
Chris Sale, Zach Wheeler, and apparently you got nominated for a Gold Glove. You ain't showing it right now, Sevy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the finalist committee haven't said, oh, God, that Game 3 performance, bro.
It's going to go to Zach Wheeler.
Yeah.
Catcher. This is interesting. Patrick Bailey.
Don't say Albert. Don't fucking say
Albert. No. Patrick Bailey from the Giants.
Okay.
Gabriel Montero from the D-backs.
Okay.
And Will Smith from the Dodgers.
Interesting.
Probably would go to Bailey if I had to guess. Probably going to go to Patrick Bailey.
Yeah, I'm not really hype on some of those other guys, but, you're probably not wrong.
And here's a two-leg race for you. First base, Bryce Harper, Matt Olson, Kristen Walker.
I'll probably go Matt Olson.
Yeah, like I said, it's either him or Harper.
I would think it's probably going to go to Olson, because Olson's more of a pure first baseman. They might just look at it that. I wouldn't give it to Bryce just because Bryce is a fucking star.
No, but he's improved at first base.
He's improved. Now, granted, he has improved. I will say
that's why I said I think it's either going to be Olson or Harper, because it's like tight with how their defense was.
Right.
Now, second base, Kendall Marte from the D-backs, Bryson Scott from the Phillies, and Bryce Turang from the Brewers.
Bryce Turang, yeah, he's a pretty good. I might give it to him, just on the case that because he's a good shortstop.
Yeah. Third base. Oh my God! Talk about.
Don't say Alec Bohm.
No, Bowman did not make it.
He doesn't deserve to. He's a shitty third
baseman.
But
when I tell you this, it's two old guard. It's an old guard, a rising star, and a star that didn't get paid. Ryan McMahon with the Rockies.
Okay.
There's your rising star.
McMahon's been in the league for a while.
Matt Chapman. There's your guy who hasn't gotten paid because he
sucks.
And the guy that's gonna win it, Nolan Arenado.
Oh God.
And the guy who's fading out. They're giving it to Arenado.
Yeah, who's not going to be a. If Ryan were here, I'd ask him a question. I asked him this the last time we were on before. Arenado's probably not going to be a Cardinal start of next season. He's probably not going to be a Cardinal.
He'll probably retire.
No, he's still young enough. He still wants to get paid. He'll stay in the league.
All right, now
Not that old. He's not that old anyway.
So I do not agree with the fact that the Rockies got a shortstop nod. It should be Lindor or anybody else than Torvar.
Oh yeah.
From the Rockies, Darby Swanson and Mason Wynn.
You need Darby Swanson?
Yeah. Dansby.
You love to butcher names, man.
Darby. First off, it's a Cub. They're going out the pasture anyway. It's probably gonna go to Mason Wynn.
Yeah, more than likely.
Oh God, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name. Fucking left fielder for the D-backs.
Go for it.
Garuli?
Yuri Gurriel?
Okay, Junior. Ian Happ, Brandon Marsh. It's gonna go to Ian Happ.
Probably.
Yep. Brenton Dolan, Blake Perkins, and Jacob Young for center field.
Okay.
Sal Friddick, Jake McCarthy, and Mike. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your last name. Right fielder for the Giants, Yastrzemski. And no utility.
No utility guys are going to get a Gold Glove?
Nope.
There hasn't been a utility guy that deserved one. Oh!
I'm on a delay, so.
Just wait. Watch Iglesias at bat. That's what I'm waiting for to see it.
Oh, that was the bad hop.
And he tried to field it. He still couldn't do it.
Yeah, that was a bad hop.
That was a whoopsie. Then he tried to catch it off the air, and he just still completely fucked it up. But
so
this is our best chance to get one of those, get one or two of those runs back.
Yeah.
You got JD, who's like Grandpa Moses on the fucking base paths. Sorry, no disrespect to JD. He runs slower than I do.
All right. So other news that we have, Phillies extend Thompson to 2026.
They really did up, man. I thought. All right, when you're done talking, I got a little thing I want to go on about Philly fans. But guys, continue what you're saying.
Yeah, no, that was they just announced that yesterday that he got
extended.
Extended, yeah. Zari wants to play with the Padres. There's not other than fucking Mets and Grimace and Hoctua and Cortez is on the possible track to come back for the World Series.
Nelson Cortez?
No, oh God, Yankees. Nestor.
Nestor. Yeah, Nestor Cortez, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought you said. It sounded like you said someone else.
No, I said Nestor Cortez.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, Nestor. Woke up. Yeah, we know that. Guardians made a mistake walking Soto to get the Judge.
Well, that was a big, and also Mark Vientos, man, he got. Did you see the post game with that? When he hit after he hit that grand slam?
Oh yeah, he took it personal.
Yeah, because they walked Lindor to get to him. And he's like, oh, yeah, motherfucker? How about I deposit one right over the fucking center field wall?
So, Kershaw said he is coming back to pitch next year.
Yeah, but he's a free agent. Where does he pitch, though? Stays with the Dodgers, or does he go elsewhere?
I bet you he'll stay with the Dodgers.
Loaded him up.
Now, one out, so just get it out. But it's... Don't swing at the first pitch, Alvarez.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what? Look, I love Francisco Alvarez. This motherfucker swings for the fences on the first fucking pitch, man. He needs to stop. He needs to knock that out. He's only 21 years old. He needs to knock that shit off.
But go ahead. I know you said you had something you wanted to say, so.
No, you know what it is? And here's the thing. Look, I'm a diehard Met fan, and I've ranted about the Mets on occasion on this channel. That's not a big fucking secret. It's not a big thing. But there's a gentleman. I'm not going to bring up his name because I don't remember what it was. But I found him on YouTube right after the Phillies losses. This guy. Oh, wait a minute.
I was going to say,
that's Christian.
Yep. Well, I'll introduce him. Finish what you were saying, and I'll introduce him when you.
No, introduce him. No, because I'll get his take on this.
Hello, Christian.
What's up?
Nothing. John.
No, I'm just going. I'm about to go off on the Philly fans, and you might agree with this once you hear what I got to say.
Oh God.
So, but no, it's like this guy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ronnie, what do you see?
Stop watching the game for 30 seconds and say what you were going to say.
No, but this guy on YouTube goes off about how
bat one further than
he's
the ball.
Sick and tired of bat one further than the ball. But no, he goes off on the Phillies like he wants everybody traded, he wants everybody fired, he wants everybody this, that, and the other thing. But he goes off on, because it's funny, Ronnie just mentioned the Phillies extended Rob Thompson for another couple years.
Till 2026.
Basically for another 2 years. He's the head that this guy wanted on the biggest pipe. Now, Philly fans, I've noticed, and they're to this day, up till this morning I checked on Twitter, they are still bitching and complaining about them losing to the Mets already. Let it go already. You know, you sucked. You've been sucking in the playoffs. It's nothing new. Let it go, like Frozen. Let this shit go. You know what I mean?
Just because, it's because they won a division. That's the thing. They won a division. They were they were the second best team in major leagues. But if you notice, it's ever since this new playoff system happened, we have not had it's been rare that the top two seeds will meet in the CS.
I mean, the Braves got knocked out early. The Phillies got knocked out relatively early. The Orioles, who were a juggernaut almost the whole year, they get knocked out.
Yeah, but the Orioles were also a wild card team. So were the Braves. Braves, though, give the Braves all the credit in the world this year. They should have never even sniffed the playoffs with all the injuries they had.
Yeah. No, you're right.
They should have never been in the playoffs with their best pitcher and their best hitter out for the season with fucking Tommy John and freaking an ACL tear from a non-contact injury.
Right.
Like, I give Atlanta all the fucking credit in the world that they just next man up and they made the playoffs.
You agree with that, Christian, or disagree?
All right, reword it again.
Give all the credit to the Braves to even make the playoffs because of the fact that with all the injuries they had, they should have been the bottom of the freaking barrel.
Yeah, they should have, but that just goes to show you how well managed they are.
Yeah, go from Bobby Cox to what they have now. They haven't fucking had a bad manager in the last 30 fucking years.
No, they really haven't.
What's it? Brian Snickner is the manager? I think his name is.
Another Brian that likes to fuck everybody.
Hey.
Listen, at least we don't have to watch the Viagra car going around NASCAR anymore.
You said it, not me.
I was about to make a joke, but I said,
if you get the WCW reference, you're welcome.
I know exactly where he's coming from, Christian. I know exactly where that joke landed, so I get it.
And landed where I'm hoping Lindor puts this ball.
Yeah, well.
What's the score?
2-0 Dodgers.
2-0 Dodgers.
Yeah, come on. I need y'all to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to win instead of the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Because you want to pay us back for what we did to you during the regular season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude, listen, they want to promote Shohei versus Judge. Bullshit. The biggest money bet for anything is the fucking Mets Yankees.
It's the Subway Series.
Yeah.
You damn right. You damn right.
Listen, okay, the Dodgers are, you ain't the Brooklyn Dodgers no more. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right.
You ain't
Go fuck yourselves in the neck.
Yeah. 37 times.
In a row.
Yep. Just like beer league the series.
Oh God. Oh God, that reference. That's a reference.
Stop with the delay.
I keep forgetting you're on a fucking delay. I'm turning it off. I'll put on AEW where I know I won't care if anything happens.
Yeah, right. Oh, I mean, that's just a coke fest instead of a train wreck.
That's a wreck. But anyway, besides the thing, but it's like with the Phillies, I've never seen a fan base that bitches more and complains after the team's been eliminated.
I do. It's called Kansas City.
No, because you know what the funny thing is? It's like they interview people as they were leaving the stadium. I got nothing to live for, man. This is the only thing I lived for all year, and I'm not gonna sleep for weeks after this. I'm like, really?
Hey, it could be worse. You could be a Baltimore Ravens fan that literally left the stadium picking fights with anybody that was wearing Washington jerseys. I'm not even kidding. That's a real thing.
Why am I not surprised by that statement? Why am I not shocked by that statement?
And then he got his shit stomped in by 3 people that were in Washington jerseys.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. Exactly. Oh well.
It is what it is. What are you gonna do on that one?
He fucked around and found out.
Yeah, that's the way you always do. Fuck around and find out. But what other news you got?
Oh God, nobody cares about this. Why the fuck is fat ass Christie at the Met game right now?
Oh, in other words, they're going to close concession stands early.
Chris Christie?
There's going to be a meme of him sitting in the fuck... Motherfuckers! Twitter, get on this! I want Chris Christie on the field dressed as Grimace.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing. Get on it, internet.
I know the internet is good for something.
Not a lot, but in that case, it might be.
It might be, yeah. Baseball, like I said, baseball-wise, there's not a lot of news because we're getting closer to the World Series. We're getting down to the whole...
nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, and Christian, we were both talking about manager of the year. They think it's going to be Carlos from the Mets, and the guy from Cleveland's pretty much going to win it.
Or Kansas City.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? If you really want to do it, should go to the fucking Braves.
Fuck the Braves.
I'm saying, no one, after all the injuries they had, they still made the playoffs.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is impressive, but they got knocked out in the first fucking round.
Doesn't matter. Manager of the year it's like MVP. It has everything to do with the regular season, nothing to do with the post.
But here's my only caveat to that. The fact that he's been a manager for how many years? And he's gotten in... they've been in the playoffs a majority of the year. Every year they've been in the league.
Yeah, but without, but the thing is though, is you got to remember, without Spencer Strider, without Acuna,
Ronald Acuna, right? But on the flip side, when it comes to the Mets too, nobody expected the Mets, including myself, and Christian and I have talked about it, and so has you and I, Ronnie. We've talked about it on occasion that this team should not have been where they are now. Nobody expected them, including myself. And like I said, I predicted 60 wins for this team. I went on this radio show and said that.
I mean, like I said, I said flat out that I thought that if they can keep entertaining games going into September and possibly make a playoff spot, I would be happy. That happened. And now I'm just enjoying the fucking ride.
Right. But
that's all you can really do right now is just enjoy it.
And as for the Yankees, Christian, you weren't here, and I said it before to Ronnie. I said the Yankees are going to steamroller over Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't normally like jumping the gun too much, but I think we're gonna sweep them.
I wouldn't be shocked if you guys did. I wouldn't be shocked if you did.
It just depends. Like tomorrow night.
Now they're back in Cleveland. They're in Cleveland tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and I think Schmidt pitches Game 3, and Luis Gil pitches Game 4. So that way, if we do need a Game 5, Cole will be in on regular rest.
And
the ace.
Who didn't have a good game. He had an okay game, but he didn't have an ace style game.
Look, you wasn't talking that shit after what he did in Kansas City.
What? He had a shitty game in Game 1.
You mean Game 2?
No, he pitched Game 1 in KC.
Okay, and then look at how he bounced back in Game 4.
Okay, and a clock.
My point exactly.
And a broken clock's right twice. And a broken clock's right twice a day.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie, you really don't like your Achilles, do you?
No, I don't like Garrett Cole. I'm sorry. After Garrett Cole did what he did in fucking Houston, I'm sorry. That you don't sit while your team is losing and pout in the fucking dugout. You find some way to get the fuck in. You're supposed to be the leader. You're sitting there like almost, I wouldn't say crying, but pouting in the dugout. You are doing nothing. And you just watch, you watch Juan Soto get a ring before you.
Mm-hmm.
And then run to the Yankees. And now here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you really don't want your kneecap either at this point, do you? But nah, you know what? I mean, look. I mean, look. Garrett Cole is what Garrett Cole's going to be. Ace, non-ace, whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be with him. This year was definitely a year that's different from him because this is the first year he hasn't pitched the entire year straight out because of the injuries and the setbacks and all that stuff. For him to just pitch where he's at the level he's at, I give him an ounce of credit for that. Because I'll give it where it's due. You know? Just like Christian, you'll give the Mets due from where they are to get to where they are from where they started out with all the injury plague shit that they had all year to get where they are. That's amazing.
Definitely.
You know, and am I glad the Houston trash cans got knocked in the first row? Oh, absolutely. I'm happy about that.
Yep.
Yeah, ding dong, the trash cans are empty.
But no, it's just it is what it is right now when it comes to baseball. Because I mean, Cortez is on track to come back for the World Series.
I hope not. Jesus Christ, I hope
not. I bet you though.
I knew Christian was going to go off on that one.
If they do, I guarantee you they're going to put him in the bullpen.
I hope not.
That kid who's been closing for you guys, where did this kid come from?
Luke Weaver?
Luke Weaver's been a fucking journeyman.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I watched that guy pitch the other night. I was like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Luke Weaver used to be a Padre?
Yeah. I think he came over in the Soto deal.
No, they picked him off of waivers.
Yeah, and the first time I saw him as a closer was when we played the Cubs.
Diamondback. So, all right, here we go. Came in the league in 2016. He was a Cardinal till 2018, a Diamondback from 19 to 22, then a Royal in 22, then a Red in 23, a Mariner in 23, now a Yankee.
Yeah, the Yankees, we need to lock him up.
31-year-old closer.
That's pitching lights fucking out.
Yeah. And they're only paying him $2 million.
Gee, what a bargain.
So in New York, yeah, get a lot of lox and bagels with that one.
What are you talking about? That's a bargain, motherfucker.
Okay there, Bela Lugosi.
But no, it's I saw him pitch the other. I watched the game the other day, and I saw him pitch, and I'm like, God damn, he's good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but all right. So go into some college football.
Yeah.
Going off of what we talked about on Monday, Christian, the NCAA has now fixed the ruling on the 12 the 12-man loophole.
Oh, what Dan Lanning did?
Yep. After the 2-minute timeout, either half, if a defense commits a substitution foul or 12-man on field and participate, it's a down in a downed official will be penalized with defensive for a foul. So it looks like they're going to give them, no matter what, if they do this, like, not even intentionally, they're going to put the time back on the clock and charge a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So.
Okay.
Because that was a big thing, and also it was stupid for him to come out and say it was on purpose.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shut the fuck up there, Dan. You had the freaking game. You had it perfectly set, and then, oh no. I'm going to do this on my own. There was some weird contract stuff. Hold on, let me see something. College football playoff. There was a... So, apparently there was one thing that they said, the 12-team playoff, that the SEC and Big Ten should guarantee they each get 4 lock spots for the college football playoffs.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, at that point, I'm going to say it. 2 fucking divisions. East, West, that's it.
Yeah.
Go right down the fucking middle. If you're on this side, you're on the East. If you're on this side, you're on the West. And then just go. Because now it's getting to the point where this is all bullshit. This is starting to get it's starting to get fucking annoying. Why should we give 8 open spots to the SEC and Big Ten? And I'm a Big Ten fan. The Rutgers is in the Big Ten. Like, I'm sorry, but no. The SEC and Big Ten should not guarantee 8 of the 12 spots.
Yeah, I mean, let it be a free-for-all. The best teams who were consistent in the regular season should be rewarded.
The reason that it's a bigger deal is because the SEC kills themselves.
Yeah.
And you're getting teams that are like Iowa State showing up, and I mean, shit, you're getting the what's it called? The non-conference team, the group of 5 team makes this a shit. That's entertaining as hell. But oh well, they're predicting this, they're predicting that. Well, last time I checked, like, as much as Boise State is right now, they're Army, Navy, and like JMU still have a pretty good shot at making it.
Right.
I mean, granted, yes, they have to go undefeated, but the fact that Boise State has a chance to get there more than Army, and they have a one-loss, it's because they want to make TV rights. I get it. But this is also why we got in 2 years it's going to a 16 team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really going to fucking matter. These 12, we get 2 years at 12, and then we go to 16.
Right.
And then it's not going to matter if you fucking win your conference because, yeah, half of the top 25 gets in.
Yeah, it's all going to be interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of the top 25, let's get into that.
Okay.
Teams that have dropped out. Utah, who is completely fucked now. Cam Rising out for the year with a broken leg.
Yeah, that's tough. Like he can't catch a break because when I was pretty high on Utah. I actually had them as one of my top four.
I think most of us did.
Yeah, and he makes everybody around him better. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, he's a game changer. He's a playmaker. He's that gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? The guy that's gonna make those crazy throws, but somehow it gets to the intended receiver.
Yeah. Now he's got, and John, you'll get a kick out of this. Zach Wilson's brother is now the quarterback of Utah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And Boomer Sooners dropped out after their shellacking from Texas.
Yeah. Oklahoma just didn't have the offensive firepower to keep up with Texas. And when we do talk about Texas, I actually have a pretty interesting comparison, Ronnie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, but let's get into the top 25 before we get into that. Bless you.
Thank you.
And number 25, joining the top ranked, 5-0 Navy.
Okay.
They've officially cracked the top 25. Really, it's probably for the sole fact that they have Notre Dame in 2 weeks, so they got to beat Charlotte to get. They beat Charlotte, then they got Notre Dame, and they're going to be another ranked team. But I'll get to why Navy being in the top 25 is interesting after this next one. Number 24, Michigan.
I think they're just getting shown love because they're the defending champs.
I agree with that.
That's it. But other than that, this team really hasn't been all that great. They're
Nope.
one-dimensional offensively. You know what you're going to get from them. They're going to run the football. They don't have the passing game to really compete in a lot of these games, and you're seeing that.
So, the next team I'm about to say, I want you to guess when the last time these two teams were in the top 25, and number 23 is Army. So when was the last time Army and Navy were in the top 25 together?
Who knows? Ain't nobody care.
Oh no, it's actually very interesting. Guess a year.
Who cares?
John?
I'm with Christian.
1960.
I'll say 1980.
Longer than that. 1960 was the last time Army and Navy were in the top 25 together.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are undefeated. Both teams are fighting for a group of 5, and we're about to, if this stays the way it's going, probably both teams are going to fight for the the AAC, and we're going to have one hell of an Army-Navy game coming up.
In other words, it'll actually be something. They're actually playing for something, in other words.
I mean, they're playing for pride no matter what. It's Army-Navy. But the fact that we would have back-to-back weeks of Army-Navy would be kind of insane. Because they would play the title game, the conference would make their picks, and then they would have Army-Navy to close out the year. Their traditional game.
Right.
So, I mean, that's 1960, though, was the last time both were in the top 25. Very, very, very interesting. Kind of cool, though, because both them are freaking... And I was telling Christian, John, Army is the most efficient team in college football this year. Like, every time they get the ball, they score.
Okay.
With like 96... What did I say? It was like 96%, Christian?
Yeah.
Something stupid. Yeah. Number 22, though, moving up, is Illinois. They moved up after barely beating Purdue.
I like Illinois. I really do. They play well together. Belma is a great coach for them. And, you know, they have a couple of tests coming up these next couple of weeks. I know they play Oregon. And then I know...
How about next week? Or this week?
Yeah, they play Michigan.
Yeah.
This week.
More question for that defense for Michigan. That not really the offense. That defense, though. It helps them that it's in Champaign. Number 21, SMU. Number 20, the team Pittsburgh, who is 6-0 since 1982.
Yeah, they're playing really well. Pat Narduzzi, I think he'd be my favorite right now to win Coach of the Year because nobody expected this.
Listen, we thought they would go bowling because they always seem to find themselves in bowling. None of us were expecting 6-0, and listen, they keep going. They could put themselves in that realm with fucking Clemson and and Miami, because they play Miami, I think, in 2 weeks. Honestly, that's a game that I'm hoping College Game Day goes to, because that would be fun.
What, Pittsburgh, Miami?
Yeah.
In Miami?
Is that in Miami or is that in Pitt?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Let's find out real quick. I can find that in 2 seconds.
1, 2.
And actually, I found it. I found Miami. No, they don't. They would. They don't play Pitt. Miami does not play Pitt.
Okay.
Does Pitt play Clemson? Yes, they play Clemson at home.
That might be a preview of the ACC championship because one thing I do have to say about Clemson is ever since the Georgia game, they've regrouped nicely. They're playing with balance. Cade Klubnik hasn't been bad, and we already knew this, but Clemson's one of the best defensive teams in college football.
Yeah, but also, too, Pittsburgh's got some tests. I'll read what they got so far. They're home against Cuse. They should win that.
Yeah.
At SMU, home against Virginia, home against Clemson, at Louisville, at BC.
I don't know. That game at SMU, I think it's a trap game.
Yeah. So if they can win out going there, they'll probably find themselves in possibly the top 10 to go in against Clemson. That's gonna. Well, the good news is that they get I think they get a week off.
Yeah.
Or they have a bye this week. I mean, listen, Pitt has a chance to do something that they haven't done in, since the 50s. And that's nuts on its own. But all right, 19 after the destruction of UMass, Missouri.
Yeah, they had to bounce back because they were absolutely manhandled against Texas A&M in week 6. And what did I keep saying? You can get out to sloppy starts, but just because you can do that, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to get back into the game. And that's what happened.
No, they got the doors blown off them.
Texas A&M just punched them in the mouth and kept punching them until Missouri will punch back, and they never could.
Yeah, they were fighting up the entire time. Number 18. Team might be on quit watch soon, and that's Ole Miss.
Yeah, they've kind of. That was a great game on Saturday, by the way. Ole Miss LSU, one of the more entertaining I've seen throughout the entire year of college football. Honestly, when I look at when I look at Ole Miss, I thought they were going to be a lot better than what they are now. Like, I had them getting to the SEC title game.
So I'm going to ask you this question, and you can think about it or you can give an answer. With one more loss from Ole Miss, does Lane Kiffin go to Florida?
Wouldn't surprise me, because I think they need someone to put a little life back into that program. Like, they haven't really been much of anything. I can't even say since Urban Meyer, because Dan Mullen wasn't a bad coach.
No, it's just they couldn't recruit well.
They couldn't recruit, and Lane is one of the best recruiters in the country. I think he would put Florida football back on the map.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Number 17, K-State.
I like this team. They're old school. I think right now with Cam Rising down for the year, Kansas State, they're the favorites right now in the Big 12.
They have one more test, and we'll get to them when they come in, because the winner, they might have to play back to back against this team to get one of the 4 seeds in the playoffs.
Yeah, but the thing I like about them, they stick to what they're good at. They don't try to jump out their box.
No. But their fucking quarterback's insane. After his win at the Pop-Tart Bowl, I even said, I told you, after that win, I go, this kid is going to take K-State to the playoff.
Right.
And he's just doing that. And, I mean, they have a full-blown chance with the team they have to play at the end of the year. And they would have to probably see them again in the Big 12 title game.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them in a little bit because they're higher on this list. Number 16, though, 6-0, Indiana.
Yeah, they're playing well right now. And again, they're kind of like a Kansas State. Don't do too much. Stay within their own box.
Yep. Number 15, Boise State.
Yeah. And me personally, I think they have the best player in college football.
They do, and I think that's the only reason they would get the nod right now to be the Group of 5 team.
Yeah. Ashton Jeanty he's must-see TV.
Yeah, he has a chance of breaking Barry Sanders' rushing record.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone's like, oh, well, Barry Sanders did it in less time. I go, motherfuckers, they take him out in a half. He hasn't broken a sweat.
Yeah.
Imagine if he actually played a full game. Number 14, Texas A&M. Yeah, they get a cakewalk.
I like what
they get a cakewalk this week.
I like what they've done ever since the loss to Notre Dame in week 1. They've regrouped offensively. Benching Marcel Reed, putting Connor Wegman back, and I think Connor gives them the best chance to win football games.
No, this game I do not have on the list. Okay. Number 13 after this is BYU. I think I think they're getting upset this week, though.
We'll see what happens.
They got Oklahoma State. Number 12, speaking of teams on upset alert, we'll get into them when we make our picks. Notre Dame, number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11, Tennessee.
Yeah, they've kind of fallen off since the beginning of the year. You remember at the beginning, I was saying the 3 best teams in the country were the Texas Longhorns, the Georgia Bulldogs, and the Tennessee Volunteers. At first, 4 or 5 games of the year, they're scoring 30. Some games, they even eclipse 60 points. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, it just seems like ever since they've gotten into SEC play, they've really come crashing down to reality. And outside of Squirrel White and Dylan Sampson, it's almost as if this Tennessee offense doesn't have the necessary weapons to succeed.
I mean, let's face it. They should have lost to Florida.
Yeah, they should have. You're absolutely right. And Nico Iamaleava hasn't been what a lot of people were expected. But I'm going to give this kid a little benefit of the doubt because
they got a test this week.
It's not only that, but remember, this is a freshman. He's still learning.
Yeah. But at the same time, too, it's that offensive line. That offensive line is not young.
No, it's not. But the saving grace of this Tennessee team has been their defense.
Yep. Now we get into the top 10. This should be fun. Clemson, number 10. What else is there?
They deserve it.
Yeah, we already talked about Clemson when we talked about Pittsburgh. Number 9. And here's the team K-State would have to beat twice. Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State's been looking really good this year. Matt Campbell, he just brings the best out of whatever he has on his roster.
All right, number 8. Go Tigers. LSU.
Interesting. Yeah, but they saved their playoff chances the other day.
Yes. We'll get to that because that is a game on the list. And maybe have to sound the alarm. Number 7, Roll Tide Roll, Alabama.
Yeah, I haven't liked what I've seen from Alabama in the last 2.5 games.
That's what makes
the
Tennessee game interesting.
I'm talking about what they did in the second half against Georgia because they got away from what was winning them the football game, right? Obviously, they did drop the ball against Vanderbilt, and they didn't even look all that great against South Carolina. If anything, South Carolina should have beat them. I'll explain what's wrong with them when we get to them.
And Vandy is not a chump anymore.
No, they're not.
No, Diego Pavia coming over, that's a big deal. Number 6, the U of Miami.
Yeah, Cam Ward is a legit Heisman candidate.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird because some of these unbeatens, you're waiting to see if they fuck up because Miami's not a bad team. They have a bad coach.
Right.
We're all waiting for Cristobal to make that fuck up that puts Miami out of the playoff.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are.
So it's like you're 6-0. We don't want to push the chips in on you yet because we know the other shoe's about to drop. And could it be they have to go into Louisville this year or this
yeah,
year,
which won't be easy.
If Louisville wins, they move into second for the ACC title game.
Just kind of overall looking at the landscape that is the ACC.
How great does it feel that for Florida State to actually be losing, we get all of this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been parity within the conference.
Just never thought Florida State would be this bad.
Right.
Number 5, UGA, Georgia.
I got a couple of interesting things to say about them.
We'll get to them because that is on the list. Number 4, Ohio State. You lost by 1 point. You're not going down that far.
Yeah, but Ryan Day isn't the coach that
Do you blame? Here's the thing. With how that game ended, do you blame Ryan Day or Chip Kelly? Because Chip Kelly should also be telling him, you do not get down when there's 5 seconds left. As much as that's on the quarterback not knowing what it is, you can't blame. It's all going through his head. That's a coaching issue.
Yeah, and Ryan Day seems to struggle against top 5 teams.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I will say. Anytime Ohio State scored, Oregon responded. That's the one thing that I was really impressed with.
Yeah.
About them.
Yep. Number 3, Penn State.
That was as gritty of a win as I think I've seen from anybody.
It's noticeable that the West Coast Big Ten teams, there's a distinct advantage when one has to go out west or the other has to come east. And we'll get to a couple of them in our picks. Because number 2 is Oregon.
Rightfully so.
Yep. And number 1, after the ass whipping from Red River, it's Texas.
Yeah, they're the best team in college football. And, I mean, I've been high on them, as you know, Ronnie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Texas has been proven it. Oregon, I think the funniest thing from Oregon was fucking Puddles from College Game Day. Fucking shooting a shot with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Did you see Sydney Sweeney's response to that?
Yeah, I did.
Wrong number, who's this? Or new number, who's this?
New phone, who this?
Like, that's great. Puddles, then all of a sudden during McAfee's show, fucking shaving some poor kid's head. Like, oh god damn it, this is kind of funny. It's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's make our picks. There were not a lot of games that were on the top level for college. I mean, we have our normal stuff. We have the marquee games, but not really anything that you can kind of look at and be like, huh, interesting. But let's start off with the first game, and that would be our normal shtick. Rutgers is a 4.5-point favorite, introducing UCLA.
Rutgers.
I'll go Rutgers.
Yeah, I think, like, again, I said it. The team coming West Coast, it's a noon game, so it's a 9 o'clock start for the body clock. And yeah, UCLA, I mean, it's going to be nice to see a freaking ex-NFL coach for once in a blue moon, because that's usually what you never see in Bellarmine for UCLA. But I think Rutgers runs the ball down their throat. It happens. All right, next.
Yeah.
Next, Michigan is a 3-point favorite against Illinois going into Champaign, being a home dog. The over-under is 44. First off, this is never going to hit 44. This game is going to be a slog. Take the under. Hands down, take the under. But this is an upset alert. Major upset alert. Illinois is on a hot streak right now. They know, what is the one thing Illinois knows best? How to stop the run. What can Michigan only do?
Run the football.
They're going to make Alex Orji beat them with his arm, and his arm is limp as a fucking noodle.
I like Illinois.
Yep.
Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah, Illinois.
Yep, give me the upset. Yeah, and the fucking points, because I'm sorry, you're going into Champaign and fucking... you're going to Champaign where it's fucking possible to play as a home team anyway, and to see that shit. All right, Notre Dame is an 11-point favorite over Georgia Tech. The over-under is 50. Again, we're talking about something ridiculous. Unless this game is not going to be a high-scoring game because Georgia Tech has a good defense. Notre Dame has not really been tested on defense lately. This game will test their defense. Will test their offense on how good against their defense. I think Notre Dame won't make it to the Navy game to have a chance to make the playoffs. I think Notre Dame gets upset and goes home and then comes to the Meadowlands and gets beat by Navy. That's next week. But give me Georgia Tech.
I'm going to go Notre Dame.
I'm going to go Notre Dame as well. I'm with John because Notre Dame has a very good track record against the ACC. I think they've won, 30-something consecutive games. And I think that continues. I think they'll slow the game down. They'll ugly it up. They'll sustain quite a few long drives. And I think that'll be just enough.
Okay. Oh, you ready to go deep into the fucking garbage, Christian?
Sure.
Tulsa is a 2.5-point dog against Temple. This is the drizzling trash of dog shit.
And why are you asking me about trash?
Because we talk about Temple.
Ain't nobody care.
Temple has been god awful this year. And so has Tulsa. Tulsa's been just as bad, but I think Tulsa actually will beat them.
I can see it.
John?
Who's this? Tulsa and who now?
Temple.
I'll go Temple.
All right. Christian, we're going to the island.
Okay. Hold
Actually, not even going to the island. We're going to Washington.
He don't care.
Hawaii is a 19-point dog over Wazoo.
This is who?
Hawaii and Wazoo. Yeah,
You know what I'd rather watch?
Yeah, two pigs fucking. But give me Wazoo.
Yeah, I'll take Wazoo.
Wazoo, yeah. I know what you want to watch, Christian. Paint dry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right. Eastern Carolina. Now, like I said, here's where some of the shit just gets interesting with some of these games because there's not a lot. I had to find some that have good narrative. Eastern Carolina, ECU, takes on undefeated Army. Army is a 15-point favorite with an over-under of 51.5. Does Army stay undefeated?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And they cover. This is one of my best bets. Like, this game, I fucking lay the points. It's back to 15. I got it at 17.5. This game, they're going to win by fucking 3 touchdowns. And on the flip side, Navy is a 17-point favorite against Charlotte. The interesting thing about this is they're undefeated. It could be considered, this game could be a trap game because next week they have Notre Dame in the Meadowlands. Does Navy stay undefeated?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, against a team like Charlotte. Charlotte is so bad. I think the fact that they are a Service Academy team, this is another one that I would lay money on no matter what because just they're a Service Academy team. Their whole thing is focus. They're going to focus on today. And yeah, Navy is going to run up the score. I mean, a Service Academy team that's averaging 40 points a game is ridiculous. All right, next, Iowa, who actually has an O now, taking on Michigan State. Iowa's a 6.5-point favorite. The over/under is 42.
I just saw what Iowa did to a pretty good Washington team the other day, and I think they're going to impose that same will on Michigan State. Just look, Michigan State, they're in a position right now where they're looking to rebuild, have a new head coach in Jonathan Smith. Michigan State will get back to the promised land. They just have to recruit, and I think they have the right head coach in place to get that done.
So who are you taking?
I like Iowa.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Christian. I'm going to go with Iowa, too.
Listen, if this was in East Lansing, I would say Michigan State has a good chance, but this is in Kinnick. Iowa by a lot. All right, UNLV holds up and brings in the Beavers. They're a 7.5-point favorite over Oregon State. This is in OSU. This is in Oregon State.
I'm gonna go Oregon State here.
Yeah, I'll go with Oregon, too.
Yeah, believe it or not, they're second in the Pac-2, or whatever you want to call it.
So because they're not first or last?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, I got to see something. What time is this game? Because that actually means a lot. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I thought UNLV might have stood a chance. It's a 10 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
In Corvallis. The fucking shit always hits weird in fucking Corvallis. Give me the Beavers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Pac-2 after dark. God, thank God we don't have to say that much longer, because next year it's going to all be freaking back to normal-ish. All right. You already previewed this game, Christian? Yes, you did.
And I sent you what I'm not giving previews.
I know. I got it here. So the reason I ask is because the game is Bama is a 3-point favorite over Tennessee. Over under is 57.
I don't think people realize just how big this game is. This is pretty much an eliminator. I feel the winner of this game, they're going to be in great shape to make the playoffs, and the loser of this game, they're going to be in a hole that they're going to have to climb out of. Alabama, I haven't liked what I've seen from them on either side of the ball. But you got to give defenses a lot of credit because they're keeping Jalen Milroe in the pocket, right? And they're not allowing him to create with his feet, because that's when he's at his best, when he's making things happen with his mobility. He's a true dual threat quarterback that can beat you with both his arm and his legs. I just, I look at Alabama, and they have a discipline problem, especially on the defensive side. You look at all those years when Nick Saban was coaching, and the defense was always up, right? Each tier of the defense had structure, and most importantly, they communicated. I don't really see that under Kalen DeBoer. As far as Tennessee, they have some offensive issues ever since Oklahoma exposed them. Remember, Oklahoma was the first team to hold them under 30 points, right? Held them to 25 points. Then they lose to Arkansas, and like we just said, possibility that they should have lost against the Florida Gators, because they did not look good in that game. It's a very intriguing quarterback matchup. Nico, Jalen. Outside of Squirrel White and outside of Dylan Sampson, this Tennessee offense really doesn't have a lot. And Nico was struggling against SEC defenses. In non-conference play, he's averaging over 300 yards passing, and they're really pushing the ball down the field. The key matchup I'm watching in this game, I'm watching Jalen Milroe against this Tennessee defensive front. I can sit here and tell you, I can see Kalen DeBoer and Alabama fixing their defensive issues, and I trust that more to happen than I do Tennessee fixing their offensive problems. I like Alabama in this one on the road. I think I guess you can call this a quote unquote get right game, but if Alabama can start early, if Jalen Milroe can create with his feet, and if he can make it happen with his arm, what he's going to do, he's going to keep Tennessee, he's going to force Tennessee to sit on the line of scrimmage. And if that happens, Alabama's going to have a lot of one-on-ones on the outside. And Tennessee's secondary is very shaky, and he's just going to attack that in the passing game. I like Alabama on the road here.
John?
Who is this again?
Alabama versus Tennessee.
Give me Bama.
Yeah, after Alabama... so this is weird. So it's like Bama's offense is fine. It's their defense that's shaky. But at the same time, it's the opposite way. Tennessee, their offense is stagnant, but their defense is fine. So who bends and doesn't break? I think right now you have a Heisman candidate at your quarterback, and you got to stick with it to roll fucking Tide in Milroe. Yeah. But, all right, next on it, going to LSU. Is a 2.5-point dog going into Fayetteville against Arkansas. So, Christian, you said that they saved their season with their win last week.
Yeah, they did. Because, look, LSU was definitely not the team that they were last year. And at the beginning of the year, and having the opportunity to break down and cover their first game of the year against USC, they have a problem, and it's inconsistent play on the defensive side of the ball, and it's the lack of a running game. I feel if they can run the football a lot better, they're going to be a scary team. You see what I'm saying? I mean, remember, this was the highest scoring offense in the country last year, and their quarterback last year also just happened to win the Heisman in Jayden Daniels. But I just I look at Arkansas, and they really take after their coach, and that's Sam Pittman. He's old school, and when I look at him and I look at everything he brings to the table, I mean, this Arkansas team, they're physical, they want to play downhill, have a really good quarterback in Taylor Green. Hopefully he plays in this game, because I know he's hurt. This game can really go either way. LSU has the better quarterback. There's no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, these two used to play on Black Friday.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
Yeah, but now look, they're playing in the middle week, the middle of an October month. Yeah, LSU, like I said, they saved their season and everything. But to be honest, I'm concerned with Arkansas and the inconsistency in the passing game. But the way I look at it, Arkansas, they're going to exploit the undisciplined linebacking cores for LSU. So you saw how South Carolina ran all over LSU a couple weeks ago. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
I could really see Arkansas doing that. And the key for LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, he's going to have to be at his best. He can't afford to turn the ball over. I'm going with the upset. I like Arkansas.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going with that one. John, what do you got? Arkansas versus LSU.
Shoo.
LSU? Yeah, Christian, I'm in the boat with you. Woo, Pig Suey! Give me Arkansas. I think they're going to run the ball. They're going to ugly this game up, and I think LSU sees their playoffs go out the door. All right. You're previewing this one. So what do you got for Georgia versus Texas? Texas is a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest game for Georgia on their schedule for the remainder of the year. Normally, they're not in this position where they have to be on their A game to stay in contention. I mean, Georgia's won 2 championships and they've lost 3 games in a 3-year span. That just goes to show you how good they've been. But it just seems like ever since the Alabama game, I've noticed one thing: their defense isn't as stingy as it's been in years past. You get what I'm saying? Like they don't put the fear into opponents that they used to, and you just don't know what version of Carson Beck are you gonna get. They gave up over 30 points the other day against Mississippi State. Didn't look good, didn't look sharp, but hey, they still found a way to come away with the victory. Texas, on the other hand, I've been saying Texas is the best team in college football. And you know who they remind me of, Ronnie?
Who?
They remind me of 21 Georgia. Let me explain. Remember how good that Georgia team was, and remember what I would always say? They would give you a quarter. They would give you, they would give you a couple of minutes in a quarter. But when they impose their will on you, watch out. You saw that on Saturday in Red River. Came out the gate struggling. Quinn Ewers turned the ball over. But I knew Oklahoma didn't have the offensive prowess to keep up with the Texas Longhorns. This is a very interesting quarterback battle in this game. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, Texas is physical. I think they have the best offensive line in college football, and they can win games in a variety of ways. They can ugly it up. They can turn it into the street fight, as I mentioned. They can win the shootout. Defensively, they have playmakers and they have guys that could swarm to the football, and they're well coached. I mean, Steve Sarkisian is a coach of the year candidate for a reason. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. I preview it on Saturday.
John, who are you taking? Texas or the Dogs?
Give me Texas, baby.
Yeah, listen, Georgia is going to stick around. Georgia might be back in the playoff to see what's going on. But, on the same hand, too, Red River usually is a lot tighter. And the fact that Texas just blew the doors off of them. Yeah, Texas is going to get in there. And it's home. It's not like this is in Athens. This is in Texas. Yeah, horns up. Give me Texas. And finally, Kentucky is a pick'em. This game's a pick'em in the swamp. Kentucky takes on Florida.
Kentucky for me.
Yeah, I like Kentucky. I just don't trust this Florida team. Billy Napier is going to be out of job.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. Yeah, give me. I'm taking Kentucky also. So, the other thing is too is I'm going to post this on its own. Like I said, I also put out because that's our picks for the NCAA. But I also have been doing on Twitter the top 5, my top 5 picks. I already gave out Army -15. I'm giving out Navy is -17. Iowa -5.5. Then my last 2, I had to dive deep into trash for this shit. I got Buffalo +1.5 over Western Michigan, and the Red Wolves of Arkansas State -7 over Southern Miss. Southern Miss is awful this year. And Buffalo is just, they're on a hot streak. I couldn't find anything else. I don't trust anything else. But I'm going to start posting this stuff on TikTok and stuff like that. So those are my 5 for week, what is it? What are we in? Week 8? God, we're already in week 8 for college football. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? But
That's knuck and futz, man.
yeah, I'll do the same thing with the NFL because God forbid there's some fun shit for the NFL picks. Speaking of the NFL, let's go into what we're having to pick for these games because God forbid we need to waste any more time.
All right, well, Christian and I talked about it. What's your take on the Devontae Adams move?
Who, me or him?
Ronnie, because you and I spoke yesterday, Christian, about it. So
doesn't really mean anything yet. Yeah, okay, great. We got Devontae Adams. Doesn't do shit for the offensive line.
Yeah, Christian, I think that's what you had said too.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't make them a playoff team. Look, I said it, and I'll continue to say it again. You can have a prime Randy Moss on one side. You can have a prime Terrell Owens on the other side. And you can have a prime Marvin Harrison in the slot. And it won't mean anything because the quarterback still doesn't have time to create and deliver from the pocket. Listen, Aaron Rodgers can't throw the ball more than 35 times a game. I know he threw it 35 times in a game on Monday night against the Buffalo Bills.
Well,
but
in reality, the Jets. In reality, you think about it, the Jets should have won that game and apparently we're not the only ones that thought it the other day. The refs were. They need to do something about these referees.
Yeah, we could talk about that until the sun comes up. But the Jets had so many miscues. It was missing those 2 field goals. You know, that's 6 points that you just kind of pissed away. You see what I'm saying? But no, when I look at the Jets offense, this is a team that needs to grind games out. The Jets still have this notion in their mindset that Aaron Rodgers can still take games over with his arm. And he's showing you he can't.
No, and I even said that. Everyone's like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers." I go, "Yeah, Aaron Rodgers should not be winning games. He shouldn't be losing games."
He shouldn't. This is why I kept telling you, Ronnie, Breece Hall is the key for the Jets. But I also said this to John yesterday when he called me and asked me. Garrett Wilson benefits from this the most because you can't double team 2 wide receivers at the same time.
No, and the one thing I'm hoping they do is move Garrett Wilson into the slot and run Garrett Wilson in the slot with Adams and Lazard to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lazard has been a good, like timing-wise, it's only going to help. Timing-wise, that's only going to help Garrett with Rodgers.
Yeah, and I saw a couple funny memes. Devontae Adams woke up on a 2-4 team just to be traded to another 2-4 team.
Well, I thought you were going to say he woke up with an oblique strain and, it's all better now. Because apparently he's now officially starting on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
No comment on what I sent, huh?
Oh, no. We saw it.
Jesus.
Am
I lying, though, with that joke?
Well, apparently the same official crew was the same one that did the New England game where they called like 12 penalties on New England. That group is making it about them, not about the game. And apparently, clearly it was what it was because, Christian, apparently we're not the only ones that thought it was unwatchable.
Mm.
There were a lot of people that turned the game off because of the officials.
Because when I talked to Christian, I said I turned them off and started watching the Yankees-Cleveland game.
Yeah, luckily I had both. Luckily I had multiple TVs, but that's not even the point.
But it's like what? So now all of a sudden football's got their version of Angel Hernandez.
It's getting to a point where, I mean, maybe not Angel Hernandez, but they wanted to get themselves on television. That's what it felt like.
Okay.
And yeah, all right, you're now noticed. Guess what? You're going to be the first ones fired now. Just because you're noticed doesn't mean anything.
Where are they finding? Are a lot of these now? Christian, maybe you can answer, or Ronnie too. Either one of you can answer this. Where do they find a majority of these NFL refs? Do they get them out of college, or do they get them just?
No,
They just
they're in house. They're trained in house. Some
so
might
in
come.
other words, the
some
NFL's
might
lead
come from
the three blind
college.
mice.
Some might come from college, but like your I was about to say Tessitore. No, what the fuck was his name? Gene Skeletor. Your what the was it Hawkins? No, Hockley. Like guys like that were all NFL in-house guys. The only people that you should know that are referees are the ones that call penalties. The ones that are actually on the microphones, on the PA system, are the only ones that you should actually know because they're the ones that are usually going to take the insults fast. It's the ones that you don't need the name that are the best.
It's just because I've been noticing it. It's like when I watch the game, I think I watched the Jets when they were in England. They were throwing flags left, right, forwards, and backwards during that game.
Yeah, that was a train wreck. And oh, don't worry, we got an even worse game tonight. This Sunday.
Why? Who we losing to this Sunday?
No. Well, we got Pittsburgh, so I mean, that's a Sunday night game. That one I don't know who the fuck is starting at quarterback, but we'll get to the Sunday morning game, which might make me want to sleep in.
Why? Who's?
Well, let's get to the Thursday game, where the Denver Broncos take on the New Orleans Saints. Denver is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 37.5. And I believe I just read that I think for the Saints, Patrick Surtain II is out.
Well, tomorrow's going to be a special night in New Orleans because Drew Brees goes into the Saints Hall of Fame.
Hangover.
Yeah, the Saints are a mess. And they've really come back down to reality after that fast 2-0 start. I like what I've seen from Denver early on. Denver they do it with defense, they run the ball, but most importantly, they don't put a lot on Bo Nix's plate. I like Denver on the road here. I trust their offense a hell of a lot more than I do the Saints.
John?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver on that one.
Yeah. To get into this game on a Thursday, you would only need to fork up $22 for an NFL Thursday night game. $22. Yeah, give me Denver. The Saints are bad. And also now that Derek Carr's out with a oblique strain. Oh boy, let me get my gloves on because boy, I need it. So when we get Blog Talk back up, remind me, John, or when we get a soundboard officially, remind me. I need a trash can soundbite.
Why?
Because the New England Patriots fly to London to take on the Tony Khan Jaguars.
Oh Jesus!
This is Tony Khan doing dick dingers off of Sammy Guevara.
No, that's you. Isn't it off of what's her name?
That's Ty Conti's ass, but I mean, according to Ryan, he's just going off his husband. He's going off her husband.
Would it shock me? No.
No, it wouldn't. Because they got the good shit out there in England. Because God forbid they can't eat their own food.
Oh Jesus!
That's right, I said it.
Well, you dare like bangers and mash.
If you notice that 90% of the good food in fucking England is French.
You don't want a little bit of sport, it's ick.
Listen,
That's
listen,
actually a
I
dessert
know,
out there.
I know, but God forbid, never say spotted dick around a Cleveland Brown and Deshaun Watson. And Christian's.
I got nothing.
I thought Christian was about to leave.
I should have when I yeah.
Listen. If I wanted to make him leave, a spotted dick is the new nickname of the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hans and Franz's new group, his new sports group, the fucking spotted dick.
Well, Christian, don't worry about that. You're not going to get that because of some reason the other half of that tandem's not here.
He knows. But all right, yeah. Jacksonville apparently is a 5.5 point favorite. The over/under is 42. I'm sleeping in this game because fuck you.
I'm taking Jacksonville in this one. I like what I saw from New England offensively with Drake May. And I hope their main priority going into the offseason and going into the draft is we can get this kid a wide receiver. Again, your quarterback can't succeed unless if you don't build around him. And that's what they're going to have to do. Jacksonville normally plays pretty well in London with the exception of last week. But I think they bounce back. And you can't sit here and tell me that Mac Jones isn't going to be in a lot of these game plans.
Oh, you know he is.
Exactly.
But, all right. Yeah. John, who you taking?
Give me this the Coke pushers. I mean, yeah, I saw what I said.
The Tony Khans?
Yeah.
And the funny part about this will be that Jacksonville will outsell All In. Because it's at Wembley. Oh, that's going to be a terrible fucking... Jesus Christ.
This is who?
No, I'm talking about the Patriot game. It's in Wembley Stadium. AEW runs a pay-per-view there. This game will probably will probably outsell that.
Mm.
Well, according to Tony Khan, All In had about 80,000 people at it.
According to Tony Khan, he allegedly doesn't have a coke problem either.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
How's everybody doing?
All right, I need an update on the Mets game.
Still 2-0.
Oh, so they just don't want to score tonight. Got it.
Yeah, they left their bats they left their bats in the dugout.
Unless someone just hit another home run. I don't know what's going on.
No, I turned it off and I have had AEW on the whole
that
time.
Fucking. Speaking of pill pushers. No, it's now.
Oh shit! Never mind.
4-0.
4-0.
Is it 4-0 now?
Yeah.
This is over.
Sebi actually pitched pretty damn well.
And not well enough.
Except for the beginning.
Well, no, all those errors came back to bite them square in the ass.
Yeah. That's why Chris Christie shouldn't be there. All right. Anyway, next on here, Seattle is a 3-point dog going into Atlanta. Atlanta's 3-point favorite, 5.5 or 51.5. 51.5 is the over/under.
Give me Atlanta.
I like Atlanta in this one. Seattle, they're not feeding Kenneth Walker III the football for some strange reason. I don't understand it. He's one of your best playmakers because Geno throwing the ball over 40 times a game, that's not a recipe for success. I like what I'm seeing from Atlanta. They're moving the ball consistently down the field. They're running the ball defensively. They're getting after teams. They're creating takeaways. This is a team to watch. I like the Falcons.
Yeah, give me Atlanta. All right. Tennessee taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a 9-point favorite. This is in Orchard Park. The over-under is 40.5. One of my best bets for this week is the over for... is Buffalo to cover the 9 against Tennessee. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I like Buffalo. The Titans are one of the 3 worst teams in the National Football League, and they're not number 3, and they're not number 2. Will Levis.
They don't take Krishitz, in other words?
No, they don't.
No. They like mayo in their coffee.
Buffalo got themselves a wide receiver. Even though I like what I saw from the receiving core of the Bills on Monday night against the Jets, but they needed that guy that could make everybody else around him better. And they got that in Amari Cooper. Maybe James Cook will be back for this game, but they got some yards. Who was that running back for Buffalo, Ronnie?
Oh, for Buffalo. Fuck, who? Not,
I could look it up.
I'm looking it up right now. Buck score.
It's taking too fucking long.
Ray Davis?
Right. He came in and he was able to kind of set the tone, and he wanted to let the Jets know what type of game it was. I like Buffalo in this one. This could be ugly. Like, remember how they beat Jacksonville a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
This could be that type of game.
Yeah, I got them by 2 touchdowns. Right.
Who's this now?
No, you already said Buffalo.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
All right. Next, the Cleveland Steamers. Browns take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati is a 5.5-point road favorite. This is another one where this is a game that I would bet. Give me Cincinnati with the points.
Cincinnati.
This game can go either way because the Browns always play Cincinnati tough, especially in Cleveland. Cleveland is a mess. There's no denying that, but their defense still has talent. And the Bengals, the issue I have with them is they're so inconsistent at times on both sides of the ball. And the Giants were able to extend drives on them. I think this is going to be a close game that comes down to the fourth quarter. And I just think the Bengals have a little too much defensively to throw at Cincinnati, which is why I'm going to pick the Bengals. But I'm not confident in it. They got a much-needed win last week against the Giants, and it was a team that they knew they should have beat, right? Now you're playing another team that your leaps and bounds better than.
Right. All right, and John, you took Cincinnati. We all took Cincinnati. Yep. Next, Christian, you are previewing this. The Houston Texans take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers are a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 47.5.
Yeah. Houston is the second best team in the AFC behind, you guessed it, the Kansas City Chiefs. I know they don't have Nico Collins, and we know what he brings to that passing attack. He's a big-bodied possession receiver that can go over the top and win those 50-50 battles. He can go over the middle. He can make those catches in traffic, and he's a red zone threat, right? Joe Mixon comes back, and me personally, I think Joe Mixon makes them a much greater offense. Green Bay, that was one of the more complete wins I've seen from them in quite some time. Jordan Love was in rhythm. They were running the ball. The offensive line gave them protection. And defensively, this unit's improved because they're aggressive. They can play with a physical, nasty streak. And most importantly, they lead the league in takeaways, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be a fun one. It's the first meeting of two young quarterbacks in C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. This game can truly go either way. But the way I look at it, the Packers had the fourth best point differential in the NFL, and the Texans. This is the AFC South is their division to lose at this point. No, but this game can truly go either way. It's gonna have to be a lot of Joe Mixon for Buffalo. I mean for Houston, but the Packers have a top 10 rushing defense. So I think this could be a low scoring game. Yeah, Houston put up 41 against New England, and New England's not that good, but the Packers match up with Houston. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I preview this one on Friday. Be on the lookout.
I'm going go Pack go.
I agree. I think Packers will win. Like I said, this is another one that I'm going to bet on, but I'm actually going to bet the over. They're saying rain going out there, but I think after what they did last week, with the absolutely destroying them, Green Bay, I think Houston and Green Bay, this is just going to be a slugfest. Yeah, give me the over by a long shot, but all right, next on it, the Miami Dolphins take on the Indy Colts. Colts are a 3-point favorite.
Give me the fish.
I like the Fighting Flaccos here. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts. Joe Flacco gives his team a spark, and I think he could do what he did with Cleveland, with Indianapolis. He knows how to sustain long drives. He plays with control. Defensively, the Colts do enough. I just don't like what I'm seeing from this Miami offense, especially without Tua. They're a completely different unit on the field without him than they are with him. I like the Colts here.
I'm with you, Christian. Give me the Colts. All right, next, the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm surprised I'm surprised you're not previewing this one, Christian.
I did preview it. I did it today.
You did it today? Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you. Well, what you did back to back? You had two out today.
Wait, what'd you say?
Did you have two out today?
No, I just did one.
When did you drop Alabama, Tennessee?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did it
All right.
yesterday.
All right. So Detroit versus Minnesota. Minnesota's a 2-point favorite. No Aiden Hutchinson, broken tibia. He's out as right now for the whole regular season. Possibly can come back during the playoffs. Doubtful.
No, and you know what? In this instance, I would take his helmet and not just say, "Hey."
Well, that's what
rehab.
that's what Campbell's saying. That's not
Yeah,
coming
he's
from
smart.
him.
Yeah, he's smart. No, I'll say this: what they did to the Dallas Cowboys was absolutely magnificent.
It was disrespectful.
It was beautiful. I
No,
loved every second of
it was in a good way, but it was disrespectful.
Because
someone
and the reason why I say
someone should be getting fired.
Yeah, I mean they tested the physicality of the Cowboys with their defense, and they attacked Dallas with a balanced offensive attack. Roddy, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I think the Detroit Lions are the most complete team in the National Football League.
Nothing wrong with saying that. No, the Cowboys let's all call it what it was. The Cowboys got bitch slapped last week.
Yeah, they got punched in the teeth. And
no,
then
they got bitch. No, Christian, they got bitch slapped. There's a difference.
No, you're absolutely right. But the reason why I say the Lions are the most complete team in the league is because they have the best offensive line in the league, right? They do enough with a balanced offensive attack. They run the football. They throw the ball. They have weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. They have two very serviceable running backs in David Montgomery and who's the other one? Jahmyr Gibbs. And defensively, they can throw a lot of different looks at you. Yeah, losing Aiden Hutchinson is tough, and nobody can replace that. It's gonna have to take a collective effort, I feel, to to replace him because he was the heart and soul, and he was the energy of that entire Lions defense. So when I look at this game, Minnesota, it hasn't been pretty, nor has it been, um, nor has it been
Graceful.
impressive at times, but they're winning football games nonetheless. Sam Darnold has weapons, and Kevin O'Connell, look, for as good as he's been, he'd be a candidate for coach of the year because I don't think anybody expected the Minnesota Vikings to be where they are right now. The NFC North has been the best position in has been the best division in the National Football League. But I'm looking at the key matchup in this game, and it's going to be Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, against Brian Flores, the Vikings defensive coordinator. And how will each unit attack one another? The Lions, they have relentlessness. They're explosive, and plus the run-oriented attack. That's going to lead to some big-time plays in the passing game. And I see Minnesota being able to handle the run, and that's going to put them in a prime position to rush Jared Goff. And I think the key for the Vikings is they have to keep Sam Darnold's pocket clean. Aaron Glenn, who you guys both know very well, he's an aggressive defensive coordinator, and you just never know what he's going to send or who he's going to throw at you. This, to me, is going to be one of the better defenses that the Vikings are going to see all year. And I like the Lions here. I think the Vikings lose their first game on Sunday.
Okay, John?
Minnesota.
So, the interesting news that came out today about with that is the Detroit Lions are looking to go and get Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, look, I've seen people say that the Raiders need to go and get that the Lions need to go and get Max Crosby. And I kept saying, I think Hassan is a way better fit than what Max would bring.
Yeah.
Hassan is what we call, he's a tweener. He can put hands in the dirt as a defensive lineman, or he could play that outside linebacker, and he plays with that same consistency.
If he plays.
I think they have no choice. The fact that they told him he can go out and find a trade, I think
I think he's going to be a Lion. I think he's going to be a Lion. I'm with you.
I think he's stupid if he doesn't play, just so he can at least get the free agency if no one wants to give him a goddamn contract.
And I can tell you who else would need Hassan Reddick. And I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this game very soon. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. Yes, we will. And I'm going to take Detroit for this game. And that's the next game on the list is the Eagles taking on the New York Giants. Philly's a 3-point favorite. This is fucking asinine. This game is going to be a rout. Eagles are going to come in. First off, the Giants are now without Thomas, their left tackle. He's got a Liz Frank injury, out for the year.
Oh, that's tough.
Defensively or offensively, with him, the Giants have scored 19 points a game. With him. Without him, that is down to a measly 11.
Yeah, and you see, the Giants have had so many opportunities where they can score, but they just can't capitalize on it. Their defense is great, and if anything, their defense kept them in that game against the Bengals on Sunday night. Saquon's back in town. You know he's going to want this one. Philly's going to win. Philly needs that game where they need to rout somebody, and I think this is the one.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
Give me the Filthies.
This is, though, another one of my bets. I'm taking the Giants team total under. Christian, what do you think Vegas has their team total at?
I say 35.
Oh, lower than that. They have it at 20 and a half.
Wow.
This team is not good enough on offense to score 3 touchdowns.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No.
They find lightning in a bottle, and they're able to come away with it. Look at how many opportunities they had to come away with points against Cincinnati.
Yeah, no.
What did I just say about Cincinnati? They've been inconsistent on both sides of the football.
Yeah, no. The Giants are not going to... The Giants under 20 and a half points. That's at Caesars, minus 110. I take that all day. All right, next, the Raiders taking on the LA Rams. The Rams are a 6.5 point favorite. I don't know how
I like the Rams.
I don't know how the Rams are 6.5 point favorites when they're 1-4. When the Raiders are 2-4.
I like the Raiders. I mean, I like the Rams in this one. The Raiders just aren't a good football team, but I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and played with some energy.
Yeah.
I'll take the Rams in that too.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams too. I mean, they're going to have a little bit chip on their shoulder. Speaking of Speaking of a team that might have a chip on their shoulder, the Carolina Panthers taking on the Washington Commanders. Commanders are an 8-point favorite. Is there any? Does anyone want to take Carolina in this game?
No.
No. Yeah, exactly. No. This is Washington's game to lose. I will say I do have a bet on this game and it's the team total over for Washington, which is at 30 and a half. I think they can easily score 31 points.
Yeah.
In this game. But, yeah, Washington.
Yeah, I like Washington to bounce back.
Yeah. And they really didn't even play that bad against Baltimore.
No, they didn't. I mean, there were some positives that they could take away from that. All I'll say is Washington can't look ahead because they got a big game in Week 8 against the Bears.
Yeah. All right. Next, Christian, you are previewing this. The Chiefs take on the 49ers. Niners are a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, Niners! Give me the Niners!
Yeah, so we have a super rematch here. San Francisco could have won that game, that Super Bowl, if they had kept their foot on the gas and they continued to run the football, right? Last week was a big win for the 49ers against Seattle, but the problem I have with the 49ers is when they get into the red zone, they don't score, they don't punch the ball into the end zone, and they leave points on the table. Red zone efficiency is going to be key when you play the Kansas City Chiefs because you're not going to beat them kicking field goals. That's plain and simple. Kansas City's 5-0. Yeah, it may not be necessarily impressive, but they're winning games nonetheless. And they're doing it in a variety of ways because they're balanced on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they can slow games down. They can win the line of scrimmage, and they can run the football. Defensively, they can close games out too. And that's when Chris Jones is at his best, when the game is on the line. I think he's one of the 3 best defensive players in the National Football League. Kareem Hunt's going to be key for the Kansas City Chiefs because you look at the 49ers, and what do I always say? They're a bully, right? They're a physical football team. They like to impose their will on you. You really don't sense that this year. And what do I always say? The bully don't like to get bullied. I think this game's going to be close. I preview it tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
Now, who's this again?
San Francisco versus Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, I said the Niners on that one.
Yeah, give me Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is still... They haven't lost a game yet. Niners don't have Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, they don't have McCaffrey? I thought he was back. No,
McCaffrey
I want to
hasn't
change
been... He's almost... They're questioning whether to keep him out.
All right, I'm going to change it. I thought he was back, so I want to change my prediction there.
Okay. All right. The 8 o'clock game. The Jets take on the Steelers. No word on who is starting as the quarterback in this game.
No, it was announced.
Who is it?
It's Russell.
Give me the Jets.
No, Christian, how is it?
Russell. Last name Wilson.
There you go.
I'm going to stand by that. Give me the Jets. Because I don't think Russell Wilson can make this team be any better. I think Russell Wilson actually makes this team worse. And Justin Fields makes that team actually win. Give me the Jets.
I'm actually going to agree with you, Ronnie. I expect Devontae and Aaron to get reacquainted quickly. And, I just see the Steelers, they're going to struggle and they're going to have a difficult time containing both Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. Now, the pressure to me is squarely on Aaron Rodgers to deliver. The only way the Steelers win this game is if they commit to running the football once again.
And Najee Harris has not, did not participate in practice today.
I'm taking the Jets.
That just gave it over. That just put it over. Because Najee being out might actually be is not good.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets.
John, who are you taking?
I'll take the Jets.
And with how bad the AFC is when it comes to the wild cards, the Jets are still in a fight. I mean, oh shit. They win this game, they win the next game against the Patriots. They're back to 500.
Yeah, if.
I mean,
and that's a big.
They're not losing to the fucking Patriots. The Patriots are the.
Hell, I didn't think they were going to lose to the fucking Broncos either.
The Broncos are a good team. Bo Nix is the real deal. And also too, rain. That game was rain and not pretty.
I don't want to hear that because I've seen Aaron Rodgers carve apart defenses.
Oh, I'm more talking about defense. I'm not even talking about Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Bo Nix beat the Jets defense. Rodgers didn't go out there and win the game fine, but the Jets defense didn't stop Bo Nix.
Jets just shit the bed, man. Let's just call it what it is. The Jets shit the bed, man.
And again, I don't know what's up with Greg Zuerlein because Zuerlein has been missing a lot of kicks lately.
Again, you know what? And I'm a diehard Jet fan too, man. But it's just like this team. It's like I said. The only reason the sting of the Jets being major assholes this whole season and me not yelling and screaming is because I've been following baseball more often because of the Mets. That's the only reason. If the Mets were not in the playoffs right now, I'd be a lot angrier at this team. The simple reason is because, Christian, I know what you explained to me about Aaron Rodgers is 1,000% right, what you told me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to think a guy of the caliber of an Aaron Rodgers is not pulling this team into the locker room, telling the coaches to hit the bricks and say, listen, we're fucking better than we are than we're showing on that field. We need to start showing this league what the fuck we're made of. And stop pussyfooting around. But he's not doing that because he's too worried about everything else.
No,
you know why he's not doing that, John?
Why? Because he's a wimp?
Because I can tell you why he's not doing it. He's not a leader.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he never has been, and he never will be. And you know what was furthermore evident of that? His final year in Green Bay. First year without Devontae, right? And he has a younger core of wide receivers. And you didn't see him rally to them. You didn't see him trying to mentor them or anything. He's never been a leader. And I've always said you can pay a guy for what he does on the playing surface, but you can't teach them to be a leader. Either you have it or you don't. You look at so many quarterbacks, current and who have played, and they're leaders. Look, I know you don't like him, John, but look, Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a leader. He rallied the troops, and he made everybody around. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was a leader. Drew Brees. He was a leader. Patrick Mahomes is a leader. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has never been a leader. He's never going to be that guy to rally the troops.
And you know what? And I'll say this, and I'm going to say this in all honesty. You know what, Christian? You're probably 1,000% right. I've never disagreed with you, and I'm not about to start now. But I'm sorry. If I'm Jet ownership, if anything, from what they showed, they'll fire a coach midway through the season after a 2-3 start and say, all right, Saleh, hit the bricks. Go take your bald head to the high school level with Adam Gase.
All right. First off, all right, stop.
No, let me finish my rant, then you can say whatever you want.
Your rant's out of line already, so I'm just telling you right now, he's going to have a freaking defensive job next year. He's going to be back with the 49ers.
Again, my opinion. Me. Not
yeah, and I can quote your
You can
opinion.
disagree, but I'm not done yet. But what I'm trying to say is, the point I'm trying to make is, if I'm ownership, I'm pulling. I don't care if you are Aaron Rodgers, God's gift to the quarterbacks. You're going to the Hall of Fame first ballot. Yeah, great, grand, wonderful. We brought you here for a fucking reason. We brought you here to fucking win because you've proved you've been a winner in the past. Sure, you got knocked out after 4 plays last year, and you vowed to come back next year stronger, bigger, faster, the whole happy horse shit. Well, Mr. Rodgers, no pun intended, you ain't done shit. You have not proved to me you are worth what we gave up for you. You are not proving the worth of all those years in Green Bay were obviously a pipe dream because the Aaron Rodgers we got ain't the Aaron Rodgers we thought we were getting. And he needs to start. I know you say he's not a leader or anything, but he needs to show on the field why he is who he is. And he's not proving it. And he needs to start proving it, or the fans in New York are going to let him know real fucking fast what they think of him, regardless of who his name is. But anyway, that's my point. Now go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, I know you're going to tell me I'm wrong. So tell me why I'm wrong.
You done?
That's why. Why do you think I said tell me why I'm wrong?
Okay, then riddle me this, Batman. Who runs the fucking defense? The Jets on defense have not been the best defensive team in the league. Rodgers, last time I checked, does not play cornerback for the Jets. He is the quarterback. He leads the offense. The offense has not been doing great because the offensive line has been doing shit. But you know who did run the defense? Robert fucking Saleh.
Okay, yeah, he did. Okay, but here's my question to that. If he was so good at running the defense like you said he was, why is he out of a job?
Because the defense sucked. The defense has not been good. The defense has given up. Oh, God. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see something. Defense. Pulling up team statistics. Offensive. They've only been scoring points per game. Actually, this doesn't have that. Why the fuck do you not have defensive stuff? Defensively, they've given up like 30 fucking points a game. You can't do that in the NFL. That's not you're never going to win any games. Also, maybe the fact that they went overseas and Robert Saleh didn't see like it was a big deal when Woody Johnson, who's another hack, was the ambassador of England during the presidency. And he has investors over there and felt embarrassed. Maybe it was the fact that they wanted to change shit up. It wasn't. The last time I checked, it was not the GM that fired him. It was the owner that fired him.
That's what I said. Ownership. Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't matter. Ownership is at fault with this. Not because of the firing. It's because you shouldn't have let him on the plane in the first place. Okay, the loss to Denver 10-9, big freaking deal. That was just ugly. But the lose to San Francisco, all right, Rodgers might have had rust on him. But the loss to Minnesota, the loss to Buffalo, they've lost 4 games within 6 points. Sorry. They lost 3 games within 6 points. Total. It's not like they're getting blown out every game.
Yeah, they haven't gotten blown, but in my eyes, a loss is a loss, regardless of what it is.
No, that's not true. Look at Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore blew the fucking doors off of teams. Buffalo was one of them. Do we go turn around and think Buffalo is a bad team because they got the doors blown off of them by Baltimore? No. Buffalo is one of the best teams in the league. There's still 11 games in the regular season. And if you go by what the standings are, they're still the 5th best team in the league, or the 7th best team in the league.
Who?
The Jets.
You out your fucking mind.
According to record, they are.
They're 2-4.
Okay. So, but yet, with everybody else tied, they are actually like, what is it here?
So, okay, let's go down this list. They're not better than Kansas City.
Sorry. In the AFC.
Okay, I'll go down the list. They're not better than Kansas City.
No, I will agree with you on that.
They're not better than Houston.
I'll agree with that.
They're not better than Baltimore.
I agree with that.
And they're not better than Buffalo.
All right, that's 4.
That's 4, okay. 5?
All right, I'll give you the list right now. Here's the thing. They have them 10th on record, but all right, here we go. You just said the top 4. Point blank. Kansas City, Houston, Baltimore, Buffalo. 5th is Pittsburgh. Questionable. We don't know yet. We'll find out Sunday. If they're better than Pittsburgh. Do you think they're better than the Chargers?
The Jets you're talking about now?
Yes.
On a good day, I'd say no. Because when
they have them ranked over the Jets on record wise, the Chargers are ranked over the Jets record wise.
When the Chargers commit to the Harbaugh philosophy, I think the Chargers are a pretty damn good team.
Okay, but I'm just saying, the Jets are probably most likely a better team than the Chargers.
The issue I have with the Jets is, look at who their 2 wins came against. Yeah, I know you play who you play and you beat who you beat, but they haven't beat upper echelon teams.
They need a
signature
signature
beat San Francisco.
They need a signature win.
Yeah, and they don't have that.
Not yet. No, I agree with you on that. Okay.
Because look, they got punched in the mouth against San Francisco. You saw what Minnesota did to them.
Would Pittsburgh be a signature win?
It could. It could be.
Okay. All right. The next team below LA, Indy. They're better than Indy.
That's debatable.
They're better than Indy. I mean, right now it depends on also who quarterback. If it's Joe, I think there's a better chance that Indy might be better than him, but it's questionable. It's a coin flip.
You know who they're not better than? And I just wish, we can throw only if he were playing right now. I don't think they'd be better than Miami if Tua were playing right now.
So next is Denver. And yeah, they beat them, but that's a coin flip too. The next is Miami. And after that is Miami, then the Jets. So, okay, if you tell me I think they're better than Indy, I think they're better than LA. So that would put them one of the top 8 teams, 7, 8 teams. If they beat, and then Pittsburgh's a coin flip, so you kind of have them kind of slashed in there. And then we don't know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens when that happens. But there's still the AFC is not a strong division when it comes to the
No, it's not a strong because I told you
conference.
There's only 4 teams that really stand out to me.
Right, and they're the top
in the
4.
AFC.
And they're the top 4.
It's Kansas City, Baltimore, Houston, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is the Jets need to get their shit in order. They do. We all agree with that. But it's not as much as the offense's fault than it is the defense. We watched Buffalo rush, and San Francisco did the same thing, run all over the Jets.
Wait, so what's up with Sauce this year? Is he not playing up to potential, or is he just?
They're not passing to him because he's that good. They're pulling a Revis on him.
That's when you know you're a shutdown corner.
I'll say this: what's really hurting them is them losing Reed to the Eagles. That's hurting the Jets. That extra safety that they would get for help over the top is really hurting them. But Quentin Williams ain't playing like he should. He's not playing like the fucking Pro Bowler that he is.
Because he's being triple teamed.
Yeah, but
he's been a lane eater.
Listen, it doesn't. As much as everyone's saying they need to sign him, you don't need the cancer. Would Hassan Reddick help this team? Yes. Would he be too much of a cancer in the locker room for him? Yes. With what he did, he's not even showing up to training camp. You don't want to be a person in that locker room. You're a cancer.
So I'm looking at the Jets schedule right now.
Okay.
Let's
do the famous win-loss. Let's do the famous win-loss.
They play Houston next weekend.
On Thursday. No, they got New England next.
I mean, I'm sorry, New England. They'll beat New England. Then they play the Texans.
On Halloween.
That's a loss.
On Halloween. Well, it's Halloween, so you know how everything goes on fucking Halloween.
That's a loss.
In Jersey, that's gonna be. It should be a loss, but it wouldn't shock me if they beat them.
They play Arizona in Arizona. That could be a trap game.
Now who they have next? I think that's a win.
Then they play the Colts.
That could be a win.
Then they play Seattle.
At home, that's a win.
Then they go to Miami to play the Dolphins.
Depending on if Tua's back, who the hell knows?
Then they play Jacksonville.
Should be a win.
Then they play the Rams.
Should be a win because they all should be quitting.
And then they end the year in Buffalo, and then they come back home to play Miami.
So
see, the problem I have with the Jets is they play down the competition. That's the issue I have with them.
So let's just say all right, give Houston, not even count that. They count Houston as a loss, and I'll say Buffalo's a loss. Worst case scenario, if they lose to Pittsburgh, they're 9-8.
Yeah.
That should be that 9-8 should be 7 seed. Should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only bad thing is you're not playing any. Maybe Indy is the only. What's it called? Playoff team that you're playing. Like for wild card wise.
Right.
So you're not really winning any tiebreakers except for like maybe Denver. Like Denver's probably the only other tiebreaker team in that list. I mean, you lost to Denver. Because Houston's probably going to win the division. Buffalo, I mean, keep that up. Buffalo will win the division. God, the scheduling completely fucked them with the 8 o'clock games. Holy shit. 9-8, 10-7. I mean, it really also depends is for Miami is Tua back. Because if they take his helmet, there's no way the Jets should lose to Miami. Saleh, as much as Aaron is a problem, Saleh was not doing a good job. I'll be the first to say it. Saleh did not have that. That almost felt like Saleh wanted to be everybody's friend, not everybody's coach.
I'm sorry. You know what? You know what I thought the writing was on the wall? Is when he went to go hug Aaron Rodgers during that game, and Aaron Rodgers basically pushed him away.
You can't look too much into that. That's
Dude.
That's just the cameras catching camera stuff. That I don't read too much into that. I read how the play is. And Saleh's supposed to be the defense. Also, Hackett. The fact that Saleh got fired too when Hackett was going to get demoted and then Saleh gets fired is kind of also what the fuck.
Right.
But I don't see it's not. Rodgers should not be like Christian. You said it perfectly. Rodgers should not be passing 40 times a game. They should be getting Breece Hall going. If it wasn't for Zuerlein missing 2 kicks, we wouldn't be sitting here saying the Jets losing against Buffalo. The Jets would have beaten Buffalo. Breece Hall rushing over 100 yards. It came down to Zuerlein missing multiple kicks. And, okay, you can't take away any penalties, but there were also a shit ton of penalties that were bad calls. A lot of pass interference misses and pass interference calls that were bullshit. 6 feet out of bounds and you're calling pass interference. What the fuck? We were talking about that too, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That pass was over his head and out of bounds. How are you calling pass interference on that? He's not jumping out of the fucking building. Oof.
What?
Oh, 7-0 Dodgers.
Yeah, I turned the game off. That's why I'm not screaming and yelling about that.
Yeah.
This game's over.
But all right, let's get to the last 2 games so we can get out of here.
Yep.
All right, Baltimore takes on the Buccaneers. Both teams that are 4-2. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite.
Baltimore for me.
Yeah, I like Baltimore. We could easily be talking about them being 5-1 right now, but lost that game against Kansas City, blew that lead against the Raiders in week 2. But ever since then, they've gotten back to the basics. They've gotten back to their brand of football, which is running the ball and doing it defensively. Now, I will say I'm worried about the Ravens because their pass defense is amongst the worst in the league. I think they're ranked 31st when it comes to stopping the pass. So Baltimore, they need to be on their P's and Q's. You got to deal with not just Mike Evans. You got to deal with Chris Godwin as well, because he's the one I think you really need to be worried about. And I just don't think Baltimore. What's going to win this game for Baltimore is third down efficiency. They're the best when it comes to extending drives, and they convert 51% of the time. That's what's going to put them in the driver's seat in this game. I like Baltimore.
Yeah, give me Baltimore. As much as Tampa's been good, I think this game there's a big rushing game. This is a big rushing game, so give me Baltimore. All right.
What's the last game?
The LA Chargers taking on the Arizona Chargers and the Cardinals. Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite.
Give me the Cardinals in that. Why not?
I like the Chargers in this one. Both these teams have 2 of the best rushing offenses in the league, but the Chargers are great on defense, and they have the personnel to be the more dominant team in the trenches.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole thing with LA needs to be that they what's it called? That they can stop the pass. I think they can stop the pass and actually win this game because they got to stop Harrison. So give me the Chargers. And those are our picks for the week. Oh, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, please follow us on all social media accounts under the Report Network. Follow us individually on Twitter at F and Ronnie.
At the Zombie Master.
At Daily Blitz _61. Catch me tomorrow morning on Snowman in the Morning with Brian Snow. Talking all things NFL and a little bit of college as well. And then you can catch me on Friday on College Football Showdown on Prime Sports World with Israel Rivera and Matt James, looking ahead to the up-and-coming week of college football.
Yep. And join us back here every Wednesday for the Blind Side. Join me and Christian on Monday for Monday Evening Quarterback, as well as some other things that might be coming down the chute, as well as me playing some games and having some fun on Twitch. I got to start getting really into a streaming idea. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. If you didn't like what you heard, tell your enemies. But always remind them two different things. One, Bobby Bonilla be still getting paid. And two, there is always a teachable moment. And if you don't believe me, then fuck this. It's the fact of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Mm-hmm.